Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, friend. Good evening. Hope you are staying safe in this current lockdown situations due to COVID-19. So today I'm going to discuss about the cybersecurity because right now are forced to shift rapidly to remote working at very large scale. So due to this implementation on the cybersecurity is really a very critical challenges for all the organizations. So today I'll be discussing all these things. I'll be discussing about the malware, what is malware, how many types of malware. So before I discuss all these things, let me introduce myself. I am Durga. I have more than 10 years of experience in cybersecurity, application security, data security, with multiple clients in India as well as Middle East. Apart, prior to here, I was with Big Four organization as well as with much for telecom operators. So today again, I'll be discussing what are the major challenges that we are facing the organizations, step that need to be, what are the preventive actions that should be taken by the organizations. So I'll be discussing all these things today. So as many companies have already implemented work from home policies in response to COVID-19's growing challenges, cyber criminals are seeking to exploit coronavirus to target companies due to rapid implementation. Like remote work settings, it has created major problems for the some domains. That claim to offer VPN. We are connecting with our office network with VPN. So most of the people used to download VPN like domain name. So they are claimed that they are having VPN software, but actually these are malware, adware. So while most of requires a software downloading from an unknown website, it can prove to be dangerous. Instances, hacker have played with users' psychological fear of the pandemic and penetrated through the secured account and data. So, as multiple threats stare at companies' assets and infrastructure in the wake of corona crisis, cybersecurity has become for business today. Security operation must step vigilance to enhance security in the current crisis and remain alert to prevent the possible attacks. So, like the lockdown situations has made it all for business enterprise to focus on cybersecurity and adjust their security tool for remote work settings. So, if I'm talking about like how many types of attacks in these days are increasing, so it can be summarized like the most common attack that is being done by cyber criminals is phishing. Phishing means you might be getting email with the subject like COVID-19 and all these things, because in these days we are more concerned about like how many counts are there for coronas and all these things. So we might be getting email with subject COVID-19. Once we open this email, that will be like big problem for us. Like our system could be hacked. So the first thing is the common attack is phishing. Then the second major common attack is malware distribution. So again, your system might be infected with malware. Once you click over those things, your system might be infected with malware. Now, like the next for coronas and registration of the common and distribution related to COVID-19. So these type of cases are increasing day by day. Hence, the organizations, the entrepreneur should have some cyber attack prevention strategy so that they can prevent their security system there. So these cases are increasing, prevent their employee like employee once we open this thing, our system could be shut. Second major command with definitely all the organized. So the first thing is that first prevention strategy is that like monitoring of shadow IT and moving user towards approved solutions. Second thing is that if any organization has implemented or like a work from home approach recently, then they must ensure that all the software have fully patched and securely configured. The next thing is that if like any of type of DDoS attack, I'll be discussing these things later. They must have some prevention strategy to resist that. Then again, they should have some type of strategy to identify and monitor critical security activities. Then they should have some the privileged users, because in these days also there could be scenario where privileged account can be hacked, and once the privileged account can be hacked, like by getting the user name and password of privileged account, your complete system could be hacked. Then the next thing is that not sharing any link uh, or meeting invitations like publicly over the social media post. So that means right now in these days, like there are multiple meeting applications are there, like Zoom, Skype, and all these things are there. So yes, these are valid, but again, by taking the name and some link for these Zoom and Skype, your system, like you might be getting invitation, and once you click over those things, system would be hacked. So these thing that we need to keep in mind. Apart from that, uh, IT security personnel should be prepared with ramp up for the remote access cybersecurity tasks like log review, attack detection, response, and recovery. So these are some prevention strategy that I have discussed to like prevent the cyber security attack, to prevent cyber attack. Now, coming to our point, let us discuss about the malware, because today I'll be discussing that what is malware, how many types of malware, and what are the prevention, uh, and what are the prevention strategy that can be used for these things. So let us discuss one by one. So this is index for today's discussion. Like what is malware? How can I tell that if I'm already infected by malware? Then types of malware. How do I protect myself from adware? Then again, what is spyware? How to protect myself from spyware? Then virus, worms, trojan, then ransomware, and rootkit and keyloggers. So these are multiple types of malware that I'm like naming right now. So I'll be discussing. First, discuss like what is malware. So malware is nothing. It's a malicious software which is able to run, and it can cause harm in many ways. Means sometimes you might be getting that your system having multiple .exe file. This .exe file it is automatically executed. So these basically it's the set of program which automatically executed in your system, and it can cause your device to be locked, or it can steal or delete some data, as well as like once your system is locked, system having is automatically executing some set of program. So the attacker control over your system, over your organization also. So these are things that is most common things. So like obtaining credential which allows access to your organization systems or service that you use, services that may cost you money. That means sometimes what happens, once you run any program that is unknown program. So what it will be done, what it will be there, your system will be automatically locked, and now they'll be asking some money to get it unlocked, or some of like your most important files could be locked, could be hacked, and they'll be asking some money to get it unlocked. So these are the way that the malware is being infected in your system. Now, the next thing is that suppose if you're infected by malware, so how like how you'll able to know that your system is being affected by malware. So the most common thing is that once you're affected, in fact, computer slows down. That means, as I have discussed, in malware attack, there are multiple sets of .exe file. Like their auto execution executable program is there, that is automatic that is being run in your system. And once these system automatically executed in your system, it will increase like your RAM execution speed, your CPU uses, and once your CPU uses will be high, the system will be getting slowed down. So if you are infected by malware, your system might be getting slowed down. So this is the first thing that you might be getting once you are infected. The second thing is that your system repeatedly crash, freeze, or displays a blue screen of death, which can occur on Windows system after encountering it. You might be getting like once you start opening your system, or then you might be getting an option with the system with blue screen and having some options in DOS command. So there your system like your BIOS system will be your BIOS will be locked, and you won't be able to open any of your file, any of your you won't be open your OS in fact. So this is the second thing. Third thing is that you might be noticing that some disk space has been some data has been theft, like data has been deleted. So that is also the third thing. Fourth thing is that your internet activity like internet speed would be slower than as compared to normal. Means the fourth thing, internet speed is getting slow. So the reason behind that, once you are infected with malware, your system will be getting number. There will be multiple requests would be sending, and once your IP will have multiple requests, then it will able to acknowledge and answer your all the requests. And basically that request is no use. It's null. So once your system, your IP address will have multiple query to respond, it will automatically slow down your internet speed. So that is the fourth thing. Next thing is that the fifth thing is that uses of your system resources is abnormally high, and your computer can start whittling away at full speed sign of resources in the background. That means, like as I told, that multiple program will be automatically executed. It will increase your RAM execution speed, and hence like your system might be might be getting heated, and then the fan will be getting started multiple times. So that is also one of thing that you might be facing once you will be infected by malware. Apart from that, there are multiple scenario that you might be facing once you are infected with malware that I'll be discussing later. Now Now, coming to next point, that is a type of malware. Yes, this is very common thing as I've discussed multiple scenario where malware can infect your system. It can slow down your system speed. It can slow down your internet speed. It can crash your file. It can delete your file. So definitely, there are different type of malware. Malware has been categorized in different type based upon the categorization has been done based upon the attack scenarios. Means I'll be discussing means in each scenario there are different type of attack. So there are basically 8 type of malware has been defined right now. But apart from that, based upon like different type has been defined and it's going on. So the first type is adware, second is spyware, third is virus, fourth is worms, then trojan, ransomware, rootkit, and keylogger. Let us discuss one by one. So the first is adware. Now the common question is what is adware? Uh, See, most of the people I think your Facebook, Twitter, or social media sites, in fact YouTube also. So like in YouTube, between the video streaming, once like video is started streaming, you might be getting some sort of ad is coming. That ad is coming automatically. So basically, behind that behind that video streaming, some kind of program is being executed, due to which that advertisement is coming. So in case of adware, like how I'll be discussing how by using adware your system is getting infected. So what happens? You might be getting advertisement, and there is cross button is there to close that one. Once you close once you click over the cross button to close that advertisement, it will cause like that program to be executed, and your that program will be automatically executed. Once that program is executed, then it will be start infecting your system. So what it happens once your start like is infected, then it will have you might be facing that I have discussed earlier. So here I have like it displays unwanted banner advertisement. It's basically the bundle of software that is installed. Adware is included to recover development cost, or provide the product for free. It might be software that automatically displays or download advertising material such as banners or pop-up when user is online. As I told, like if you might be opening any of the website also, if you open any of the website, some kind of advertisement is coming, some kind of pop-up is coming. So it's an adware. Once you click over that pop-up, your system might be infected. The advertisement produced by adware are sometimes in the form of a pop-up, or sometimes in an unclosable window. So once adware hijack your device, it might carry out all sort of unwanted tasks. The software function may be designed to analyze the location of which the internet site you visit, and the present advertising persistent to the types of goods or services featured there. Means what happens when you open any of the website? Now in these days, all the websites, all the domain names are like registered, and they are also having some specific locations. So if if you are infected through adware, the hacker might be getting your location, the where like from where you are logging. Apart from that, the hacker would have all the informations, like which website you are using, what is the frequency of using those websites, and what is the ad you are getting, Then if suppose if you have stored some username and password over the cookies of those websites, it will be also hacked. It will be also hacked by those cyber criminals. So this is adware. Now you might be facing the same challenges once you're infected with adware that I have discussed earlier. So now thing is that how do I protect myself from adware? If you're infected to adware, so what are the things? What are the preventive strategy that you do to protect yourself from adware? So the first thing is that you should always download the software from trusted source. Means if you are downloading any of the software, make sure that it has been trusted source, either from your company website, either from those company websites which provides those software, and also read all the terms and conditions before downloading those websites. Now, next thing is that people used to download multiple movies and all these things through torrent sites. These sites are illegal. So always avoid torrent sites. Never ever open any of the application from any unknown source. As I told you, if you start downloading any applications from unknown that malicious program that that can infect your system. So always avoid those things. Now the next thing is that always have your backup. Means whatever the data that you do have in your system, in your drive, please make sure that you must have multiple backups of this data. Means in the critical scenario, if you're infected by these malware, then you must have backup to start to initiate your work. And the next thing is that you must have antivirus, and by using antivirus, you should scan your whole system frequently. Your software patches should be updated frequently. And apart from that, you must ensure that if you are if you are downloading any of the patches, it must be there on the system. So these are some prevention strategy to protect yourself from adware. Now the next thing is that spyware. So this spyware is very common at a type of malware. Means the main behind the spyware is that it will be act as a spy in your system. Means once you start opening any of the website like banking website, you're start making your credit card payment and all these things. So it will keep an eye over all these things, all your login or user ID and password. So what it will do system, let me discuss this. Once you start opening any of the banking website, again the same type of ad will be coming over your PC. Once you click over those ad, then it will be start executing some kind of program behind the application, and that application is a kind of scanner or reader. Means whatever the username and password you'll type, it will read all this username and password. And then if the hackers having having your username and password, then they can do it. Then they can do everything, anything, sorry, anything. So it will just try to steal your username, password, your payment information, your email that you send receive, everything. It will gather the information, and then based upon the information, it will hijack your system, it will hijack your device, it will hijack your bank account, it will hijack your like every e-wallet could be hijacked by this malware. if you are infected through spyware. So again, there are four types of spyware there. The first one is password stealer. As I told, these are the applications to design to harvest password from infected computer. Second is banking trojans. Example, emotet. Emotet is type of trojan earlier, which was which had done multiple fraudulent activity in United States. You can Google it and you can get all the information regarding emotet. So these are the applications that is designed to harvest credential from financial institutions, like bank, then e-commerce company, e-wallet company, all these things. Next thing is info stealer. Info stealer are also application that can infect a computer and seek out a variety of information, including username, password, email address, browsing history, log files, system information, document, spreadsheet, and or other media files. So this is we discuss the info stealer. What info stealer will do? Basically, once you log in any of the system, that kind of audit log is being generated in that system or that application. So basically, info stealer will hijack your audit log activity, and once uh, your audit log is being hijacked, then in audit log all the activity that you do regarding like over the application, you type username, password, like in which domain name you are surfing, everything can be stealed, can be known to hijackers. So the info stealer is again more critical. Then the next thing is system monitors are applications designed to capture computer activity, including keystrokes, website that you have visited, your browsing history, your email discussion, chat room dialogue, and the system credentials. So there are major four type of spywares are there. Now, again, what are the prevention strategy? How do I protect myself from the spyware? So there are four types of prevention strategy that I know. The first thing is that don't open email from unknown sender. You might be getting multiple email in your Yahoo email or in your Gmail center. So never open any email from unknown sender. Next thing is that don't download files from untrusted resource. Means, as I told you, to avoid torrent downloader, to always download files from trusted source. Next thing is third thing is that mouse over links before clicking on them and opening them. So under IDS and IPS, there are multiple applications are there in the market. You can seek of any of the applications, and the right application you can install uh, in your organization to prevent the cyber attack. Now, uh, coming to next point, virus and worms. So again, you might be the virus. It's a very common word, and you might be like definitely you'll be using antivirus. So virus and worms. So virus and worms are the malicious codes that written to alter the way a computer or network operates. Means what happens basically once you have a trusted network in your organization, so that network having some source code that will be installed in your server. So what virus will do, it will just like patch a different program in your existing program, and it will disturb the whole network. Means if any of the new program, that unwanted program is executed in your existing application program, so it will, so it's kind of injection. you might be getting some SQL injection attack. There are multiple injections out there in markets. I might be getting I might be discussing these things in coming seminar also. That these works and the uh, to lay off all this problem. So now the common question is how virus enter in our system. As I told that it's auto executable program. So virus attach themselves to the executable files and Word documents that .exe files, and then once this is attached in any of the Word document that .exe file, it will start and once it is there in any of the system, it will be automatically executed and create multiple program. And if the multiple program start executing at the same time, it will system. So this is the first way that your virus enters in your the virus enters in your system. Now the second scenario is that it spreads via email attachments, infected websites, and flash drives. Yes, you might be using flash drives. So in flash drive also, once you attach flash drives in your system could be infected through virus. So a virus will remain dormant until the infected file or system is activated. The virus cause distractions. Means it's just a program. Now the flash, if you're not attaching have copied from flash drive, then the virus cause distractions. So uh, the next term is that again the next topic is trojans. Trojan. Trojan is again you might have heard you would have heard Trojan horse attack. So it was very famous attack. It happens it happened 10 years back. Was in fact as engineering and then attacks. So this type of attack, like the social engineering, like through email, through your social websites account, you might be getting multiple ads you might download, and once you download any of the application, any of once you have received download any of the file, it will enter in your system, and once it enters in your system, then it'll start destroying all these things. So there are 5 type of trojans are there. The first one is backdoor, then spyware, then zombifying trojans, dialer trojans. So backdoors means this kind of trojans or malware, you can say malware, security to allow the hacker to control the device, steal your data, and even download more malware. Means what happens? You're attacked through backdoor attack, then your admin account will be hacked, and once your admin account is being hacked, there are multiple communication protocols are there. So through these communications, yes, all your critical files, uh, all the critical files will be taken up by the hijacker. They'll steal all your information, and then what they'll do, system what critical information, and they'll destroy your system. So this is backdoor trojans. Next one is spyware. Spyware, as I discussed, like again simple scenario where your critical information would be taken as you access online accounts or enter your credit card details. They then transmit your password and other identifying data back to the hackers. So this is spyware. Then zombifying trojans, which take control of your computer to make you its slave in the role, creating a botnet. It's a discuss it in like a further webinar. So botnet, that is a robot plus network, which is often used to perform a distributed denial of service attacks. Please, DDoS. Let me discuss this DDoS attack first. Basically, in DDoS attack, what happens? Like you do have just an example. There is a website that is IRCTC. So in IRCTC website, for like once you start booking, like the call booking, like once you start booking through the call tickets, then what happens? You might be facing that the IRCTC website is not opening, or in fact, it's not working. It's getting very slow. So, what is the main reason behind that? The reason is that, like, the IRCTC website has some domain name, the IP address is there. Now, the DNS, like domain name server of that IRCTC applications, that is being requested by multiple users. So once particular domain domain server, DNS server, having thousands of requests. So at the same time, it will enable to process all the request, but processing the request, but and once and it will start responding all the requests one by one. Definitely, it will be getting slow. That website will be getting slow. So what happens? Some kind of auto executable file uh, through like some auto executable file, multiple like millions of requests is being transmitted through a program DNS server. Now, like let's assume if a DNS server can, then it won't be able to respond all the requests, and due to which the flood, if the flood of request is coming to the DNS server, they are not able to process any of the request, and it crash down. It crashes completely. So it's basically the flood of request is coming. DNS server is not responding any of the request. It will cause on that website, and that is called DDoS attack. That is denial of service attack. So this is DDoS attack. Next one is downloader. Uh, Downloader means it's a Trojan, a good example. Download and deploy other malicious modules such as ransomware or keyloggers. Then the last one is dialer trojans. So again, the common thing, the common topic: how do I prevent myself, my system, my server from trojans? So up, like first is that running periodic diagnostic scans through proper scanner, through proper antivirus. Second is that setting up automatic update of ensuring you have the latest security updates. Means whatever the patches is there, that should be automatically updated, automatically patched up in your OS. But again, make sure that all these patches is being uploaded as resource. Third is that keeping your application updated, ensuring any security vulnerabilities are patched. Avoid unsafe or suspicious websites that I have repeated multiple times. Then being skeptical of unverified attachment and links in unfamiliar emails. Then using complex always for all of your username account, always use complex password. Like you can use there should be some capital letter, then a small letter, then some, and apart from that, the administrator should ensure that this password is getting expired after 60 days or after 90 days. So the organization must have some password policy, and the password policy is being implemented over all the database, application, and OS. Then staying behind a firewall. After your enterprise network, there must be a firewall. Means your extra like means the external network through your organization network via firewall. Means between internal network and external network, a firewall must be implemented. Now, next thing is that ransomware. So, this is also a common type of malware. You might have heard, or in fact, you might have heard in news or in any multiple communication channel also that there could be a scenario where the system is getting locked and the hackers is asking money to unlock that system. Means once this type of scenario is coming, that means the ransomware attack is being done. Means in ransomware attack, the attacker will once attack your system, operating system, and to get it unlocked, they'll ask you money. So this is ransomware. So as I have mentioned, ransomware is a type of malware that prevent you from accessing your computer. The computer itself may be locked, the data on it might be stolen, deleted, or encrypted. So some ransomware will also try to spread to other machines on the network through botnet. I'll discuss these things in next time, that what is botnet. I'll be discussing the same. So in this case, what happens? You have been locked out until you pay for the cyber crimes. It can prevent or even encrypt files. It can spread to other PC and turn them botnet. It can target anyone or everyone. And also, what happens? It will ask money through bitcoins. It will never. Once your system will be getting locked. So to unlock your system, the hijacker will ask money, but they won't share their account details or like card details. They'll ask you to pay through bitcoins. I think most of the people are aware from bitcoins. So, example of ransomware. I have just noted few examples, like Cry, that was there in May 2017, and it infected over 200k computers in 150 countries, and it was vulnerable in Windows operating system. Ransomware happened in Torrent Locker in early 2014, and again it encrypted files and relied on spam emails for distributions. Third ransomware was Locky. Locky, it was in Fab 2016, and they have extorted $1 from a hospital in Hollywood. Then the next example is CTB Locker, that again in early 2014. So again, it includes multilingual capabilities and is one of the first ransomware to be sold as a service in underground forums. So once you Google example of ransomware, you might be getting multiple cases where some kind of money has been extorted by cyber criminals. So again, the common protect your system from ransomware. I've noted on few steps. The first thing is that backup your data. It means I have mentioned earlier also, you must have backup in either in your external drive or in a cloud or over the cloud itself. So if assume if you do have the backup and your system is getting locked, then no worries. You can get all your backup from another resource and you can continue your work. So definitely, so to protect your system from randomware, ransomware as a prevention strategy, you must have system backup. Next thing is that patch and update your software. Third, etiquette your end user and creating strong password. Always use strong, complex password. The organization must have password and they must prevail. They must all the application server, database server, OS, everywhere. So next thing is that etiquette your end user organization must have ransomware. So check if there is a decryptor is available. Means check if there in case of ransomware attack your file is getting lost. So if you do have any decryptor, so without paying any money to cyber criminals, you can decrypt your file yourself. Now moving towards our last topic. So rootkit is again it's a computer program that is designed to provide continued privileged access to computer while actively hiding its presence. Means rootkit, it's a two word, root and kit. Now let's discuss about this. Once you once you buy any system or any PC, you do install all the applications, all the programs in your system. So your OS having some admin account, and what we do, we take like username of admin accounts like a root and password is also root. So common type of username is being uh, is being classified by people. The generic password is being used, like username is root and password is 1234. So you might be getting multiple scenario, in fact, where you might be using this common username and generic password. So like suppose if your admin username is root and password is 1234, means generic username and generic password is being used for your admin account, then what hacker will do, they'll have lots of scenarios. Means they'll start accessing your file OS, and he'll have all the generic account and generic password, and they'll just try over hit and run method, and they'll be if they're able to access your system, then they'll have admin access to your system OS. And once the hackers will have admin access to your OS, then he can have all things. Means he can delete any files, he can access to any users, he can access to external users, he can move some data from any external drives. So all thing can be done. Anything can be done. In fact, anything can be done by hackers. That means the scenario is that make sure that the admin account, that is root account, it's not a generic account. Means once your system is being installed, you should change your admin account and password. And if the admin account and password is not changed, you're using the generic username and password, your system could be hacked, and you'll have to bear this critical scenario. So these type of scenario is considered under a rootkit. So again, how to protect from rootkit? Rootkit scanner. scanner are the program designed to pass the system in order to keeping software all the patches should be updated. Then again, the running antivirus and occasionally running anti-rootkit tools for sensitive machines. Then behavioral based detections. Then the close examinations of the network logs from the packet analyzers like firewalls. The audit log is being created over your firewall over your system that must some third has to be there to review that audit log. Now the last topic is last step is, I think, this is the last one. So keylogger installment that you have been tipped into opening most commonly because you fell for a social engineering scheme or cleverly designed phishing exceptions. So keylogger comes in at least two broad categories. The first one is hardware keylogger and the second one is software keylogger. Means in your hardware device itself, some kind of like suspicious security patches could be inserted between your port and your CPU boxes, and through the cables itself, it can intercept all the signals, all the informations, and it can pass the informations to hijacker. Means in your if we talk about the hardware keylogger, in hardware keyloggers, what happens? Like inside your CPU hardware itself, some kind of socket is being installed, some kind of suspicious devices is being installed, and that device can steal all your information and it can pass your information to hijackers. So that is hardware keylogger. And in software keylogger again, through some application program, the application program will be executing in your system, and then it will be it will start it will start passing your information to hijacker. So this is software keyloggers. Now again, how to protect from keyloggers? So avoid keyloggers by avoiding the user mistakes that lead to their ability. Always be skeptical about any attachment you receive. Means just be aware and keep on monitoring all the attachment that you receive through email, through chat, and all these things. Especially unexpected ones, even if they seem to come from someone that you know. So in case of any doubt, uh, you need to be cautious for those attachment. Then keep your password long and complex. And the last one that I have described, monitoring should be there implemented. Always anti-malware protection is the gold standard for preventing not only infection from a keylogger but also associated from the malware threats. So this was the keyloggers. So there are multiple scenarios, strategies are there that I have to discuss. And in fact, in today's session, I have just discussed only the like theoretical part. Now, if you talk about that, how to scan the system, how what are the strategy, what are the patches are there that so all these things can be discussed in the next session also. And I'll just try to in next session I'll try to catch up more information about some practical scenario where I'll show you that what are the scenario, what could be these attack could be happened, and what are the means where are we, and how we are not able to notice those type of attack. So I'll discuss. So any questions from you?